Yep, it's me again. They hate me. That's why they give a fuck about me at the same time. As always, JD, I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this day. And I'm back again. But tonight's topic of discussion. Man gets murdered out in Brazil, and the old bitter passport hating hoes is coming up with their own version of what happened. Now, to all these stupid hoes out here, see, they're claiming, oh, he's a passport bro. Oh, he's a passport bro that got murdered out in Brazil. This right here is gonna make all you retarded punks look so fucking foolish. Foolish and stupid. Especially what's about to come. And before I go any further, shout out to Jesus Ed, the host of the Coffee Pod. I'll leave the link to his full video in the description box. Go check it out. But man, those passport hating hoes, those bitter old past their prime passport hating hoes, really put their foot in the mouth on this one. And we're all gonna see why. But enough of me babbling. Let's get on with it, shall we?
On August 8th, a Minneapolis entrepreneur was found deleted in Rio de Janeiro. Dwayne Morris, a successful entrepreneur from Minneapolis, was on vacation in Rio. He was full of life, passionate about his work, and devoted to his family. But on August 8th, his life was tragically cut short. He was found deleted inside his rented home in the Copacabana neighborhood.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Brazil are investigating after a Minneapolis entrepreneur was found dead on a potential business trip.
43-year-old Dwayne Morris was the president and founder of Blue Waters Consulting and Soul Community Development Corporation. As Rex Chapman reports, the Roosevelt High School graduate had strong ties to the community.
He's a fun partner to have.
Tamitha Richmond says her life partner, Dwayne Morris, made everyone he met feel as if they were his best friend.
He has a way about himself where everybody believes they're the most special person. So when he's interacting with them, this last week, the amount of people that told me they're Dwayne's best friend, or they're a brother to them or a sister to him, and don't actually have that blood relationship. And that's really about how he showed up in his relationships.
From his time as a teacher, a basketball coach, or working at a nonprofit in North and South Minneapolis, Dwayne gave his all to what he was doing.
While others may have seen it as him staying really busy, it really was more about that Dwayne was sharing his gifts, and so it came easy to him. It energized him to be able to connect and help and provide.
The Roosevelt High School and Southwest Minnesota State University graduate managed a $14 million portfolio of businesses, as well as provided financial consulting. Dwayne was the sole provider for his blended family, Tamitha's 3 children and his 1 child. Their home, a place where they mentored other young adults. Another way he gave back to community.
To be a partner with Dwayne is really to share him with the world.
And as a family, they love to travel.
We've traveled to a variety of countries, and we were well aware of the things that were necessary as you become an international traveler.
That's why she has so many questions about what happened in Brazil.
It doesn't make sense. Dwayne was in the country less than 24 hours. He had not yet even spent the night in Brazil.
Dwayne was found dead in his rental home in Brazil. His family, as well as authorities, suspect foul play.
This is certainly a situation where Dwayne was targeted.
His death does not overshadow how much he contributed to the lives of many. His legacy, one of love and empowering others to be their best. Rex Chapman, WCCO News.
And so you guys heard it for yourself. In less than 24 hours, this happened to Dwayne Morris. I wish condolences to his family and also the people who miss him. Now,
Same. Hearts, prayers, and condolences go out to his family. Now, keep this in mind. Dwayne Moore went to Rio de Janeiro, which, for those who are slow, is in Brazil, on a business trip. He wasn't even there for 24 hours, and he ended up getting murdered. Point blank. But I want y'all to hear these bitter hoes on social media and listen to. I want y'all to listen to their version of what happened, and let's compare, shall we?
Authorities initially thought that this might have been a possible overdose, but something didn't sit right with his family and friends. They knew Dwayne was a careful traveler and would never put himself in a situation like that. And so, of course, an investigation was started. And while this was going on, the news and announcement of another person getting deleted in a place like Brazil, of course, sparked the attention of people who immediately identified him as a passport bro. And what was really sickening to me was to see people celebrating life lost from a man.
And these will be the same. And get this, these will be the same ones sitting back wondering why nobody cares about their plight. Oh, why everybody feels a certain kind of way about them? Because look how they act. And keep in mind, they calling him a passport bro, even though he is married, have children, have a wonderful career out here in the U.S. But if all that is happening, but all this good stuff is happening to him out in the U.S., why would he even want to be a passport bro? And keep in mind, this was a business trip, not a pleasure trip. This is what baffles me even more about the situation. But let's hear it.
Hey y'all, what's up? Good morning. I'm fresh out of bed, having me a cup of coffee, but I saw a story about a passport bro who was unalived in Brazil, and I ran my ugly over to Google because I needed more information about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled it up, and his name was Dwayne Morris. He was from Minneapolis. He was an entrepreneur or the CEO of a business, so he had good money. So what had happened is he went over to Brazil to meet up with some old sexy fine ladies, you know, his piece. And once he got there, he was unalived within 24 hours of the...
First off, old ugly, you trying to sound, it's funny how you wasn't there. Your only source is social media, and you automatically assume that he went down there to get with women. Yes, a happily married man with children and a wonderful career decided that out of the blue he was gonna get a passport and go down to Brazil, even though somehow, some way, your old ass missed the part where they clearly stated that he traveled internationally all over the place. And it's not just him. His entire family traveled internationally. He just went down there on a business trip. But according to these retarded fuck-ass, bitter-ass, passport-hating hoes, oh, that's all he got. Oh, he just got his passport just to go to Brazil. Damn. Limited minds don't think outside the box.
Boarding the plane. Now, word on the curb is, you know, he had the two little chicks he met up with. It probably was one, but she probably brought a friend, so he probably thought he was going to give him a good old threesome. And then what had happened was they put something in his drink, got him back to the room, and the ladies told the popo them that he started convulsing and foaming at the mouth, and by the time the ambulance got to him, they were not able to render aid, and he passed away.
Now, obviously, this is after they got word of what really happened. And we'll get to that later on because an arrest was made. But, you know, as much as I've disagreed with people's point of views here on my platform, I do not wish any type of harm anywhere close near to this magnitude of any person I disagree with. And I really do mean that, man or woman. Right? I don't...
Straight up. And you also got to love the fact that you got these bitter ass hoes like this old ugly ass hag sitting there trying to paint a picture with a broad brush as if, oh, it's only happening to the passport bros. Face the facts, you bitter assholes. This shit happens to anybody that goes to a country that they don't know what's going down or anything. And yes, I talked to many people who traveled to many places. That includes any part of South America. And they will tell you, be careful. You see, these bitter bros thinking that it only happens to the passport bros. No, Joe. It can happen to a passport bro, yes, but it can also happen to non-passport bros. In fact, what I'm about to say right here, I know this shit's gonna hurt. Even women that go down there to South America, they have their stories of being drugged as well. So to sit there and say that, oh, this only happens to the passport bros, you are only playing yourself, ma'am. Let's continue.
I don't wish that on people. Outside of me believing that, like, hey, if you want to, if you don't believe fathers are important and single homes are okay, hey, it is what it is. I strongly disagree. I think that is an idiotic way to live life. That's as far as it goes. And I don't wish life lost. And I would never celebrate if someone's lost their life just because I disagree with their lifestyle and they weren't breaking any laws.
Exactly. In fact, you're not even supposed to be celebrating the demise of anyone. Because that shit comes back on you tenfold. And no, it doesn't matter if you don't like what they do. And rather, celebrating the demise of a person is rather unhuman. Especially coming from the same ones who didn't turn around, boo-hoo, whine, and cry about why these men don't respect us. Why these men treat our ugly asses the way they do. Have you ever taken the time to think about that? Okay then, let's continue.
Or hurting any people, so on and so forth. It just shocks me at how quick people are to celebrate things like this.
So I say all of that to say this. Y'all men have to understand. Y'all can scream, yeah, bro, get your passport, but you got to understand when you go to these people countries, especially other countries, the life.
And again, you bitter retarded fuck. Dwayne Morris traveled internationally with his family way before even going to Brazil. No. He didn't just out of the blue decide to get a passport and go to Brazil. He been had his passport. He been traveling internationally with his family. It's just that he went to Brazil alone on a business trip. Damn, do these bitter passport hating bras know the difference between a business trip and a pleasure trip? God damn.
The life that they live is completely different from the life over here. And a lot of times they think that every American have money when we book trips to go to those countries. But ladies, I'm also tell y'all this.
Emphasis on every American. No, not just the passport bros, but any American that goes out there to South America. Black man, white man, black woman, white woman, or any race of a person from America going to that country. They all gonna look at it that way. It's not just limited to just the passport bros, ma'am. Let's continue.
When these brothers try to throw that shit up in y'all face about they need their passport, baby, take them to the post office and help them fill out the paperwork correctly to make sure they can get their passport booked just enough time to make their flight. Because, yes, they are taking out passport bros because this is not the first time this happened. This is the most recent, but not the first time.
And how the way he died is not the same as how other passport bros ended up getting murdered. And keep this in mind, this happened in Brazil, not in Colombia. Not in Colombia. You old, fat, brown, blonde wig, big nose, manly chin, bitter, passport-hating broad. So basically, what she and others just like her is trying to do is trying to paint Dwayne Morris as a passport bro, even though we already got the information here. You see, they're so, how should I put this? Hold on a second. These retarded fucks is so hung up to the point that any man, especially a black man who has a passport and travel internationally, that automatically makes him a passport bro, even though Dwayne Morris was happily married and already has a family. And if that's the case, why would he even want to be a passport bro if he already has everything going for him? Can this bitter old hag answer that question? I doubt it. Let's continue.
What do y'all think about this? Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to hit the follow button.
And even worse than this video were some of these comments. Like this female commenter who says more men should become passport bros. And so she's like, more men should become passport bros so that they could get deleted. Somebody else who says, wonderful, all men should become passport bros. So this chick is like, all men should become passport bros again so they could get deleted. Followed by another comment that says, I just got back from a solo trip in Medellin in Colombia, and seeing the passport bros in real life blew my mind. These women are setting them up, shaking my head. At least there's a little bit of remorse there. Somebody else here says, I'm going to start selling insurance to them. Another person here added, why would these grown men want to be in the company of women that are their daughter's age? Here's another person who says, women doing the Lord's work. Again, celebrating men getting deleted.
Women doing the Lord's work. Wow, so these bitter ass bitches is also gonna bring God into this as if God is pleased with what happened. If these bitter bras don't sit down somewhere, let's continue.
Deleted. It's one thing for women to laugh at a man who got and lost all his money while messing with some big booty chick and he wasn't thinking right, or for a man to look at a woman who is struggling in the dating market, because I laugh all the time. But no, I will not laugh if you're seriously getting injured or hurt. And people will sit down and they'll try to justify and say, oh, nah, it's as bad as losing your life. We live in a crazy world, man.
Y'all, another passport bro has died. I literally just made a video last week about passport bro.
And the fact that she's smiling about it clearly shows her mental state of mind.
Who was killed in Brazil less than 24 hours after he arrived by two women that he invited back to his house. And I was scrolling and I saw on CNN.
Whoa. Now for this dumb broad, we're now hearing two sides. We're now hearing two sides of the same story here. One side, which is the news, saying that he overdosed at the bar and got dragged home. Now we're hearing from this broad. Now we're hearing this broad giving out her version of the story, saying that, oh, he got with these two women, took them home, and he got murdered. Damn. The two sides to every story, the two sides here always proves that they're full of shit. Let's continue.
Another passport bro has died. So the first case, like I said, was in Brazil. This guy went to Colombia. He went to Colombia on a solo trip. He died in Colombia. His family.
Hold up. Now we coming across yet another inconsistency. First she says Brazil. Now she's saying, first she said Brazil. Now she's saying Colombia. And apparently she never took geometry. She never paid attention to class when the teacher was teaching the students about the atlas and all the different countries of the world. Apparently she either played hooky or wasn't that bright in the classroom, because the last time I checked, Brazil is in South America. Colombia is in South America. But as I remember, both Brazil and Colombia are two different countries in South America. So which is it, ma'am? Is it Brazil or is it Colombia? And if you tell me that, Colombia is in Brazil, then it's clear to see that you, ma'am, are completely mentally challenged. But let's continue.
Was told that his cause of death was a pulmonary embolism, I believe I pronounced it, and that was his cause of death. Well, they received his stuff from Colombia, like his suitcase with all his belongings that was in his hotel room.
His family received his belongings from Colombia. I thought it was Brazil. Damn, this bitter broad can't get her story straight. She can't get her facts straight. If he went to Brazil, drugged in Brazil, and overdosed in Brazil, then how did she came up with the equation that he got his stuff from Colombia? I'm sorry, fellas. I just can't with this one.
And when they got the stuff back, there was women's items in the suitcase. So there was a dress, there was earrings, there was heels. Like, there was a woman with him, even though this.
And the next question I'm going to ask you, ma'am, is how did you get all this information when none of that information was made public? Oh, don't tell me. You sat there and believed what social media told you. As if social media is a reliable source. Social media tells the truth. And anyone believing that social media tells the truth, then you are an idiot. I'm just throwing that out there. It's both baffling and comical how these bitter passport-hating broads always want to jump in front of the cameras on their TikToks, their Instagrams, giving out their version of what happened as if they were there when it all went down. and still always find a way to make themselves look like complete idiots in the process. So much so, they can't even tell you where it happened at. Oh, it didn't happen in Brazil. It happened in Colombia. He got his family got his stuff from Colombia, not Brazil. And most of the things that's in there is all women's items. Are all women's items. But wait a second, ma'am. How do you know all of this? How do you know all of this way before anyone else? I don't know.
This was a solo trip, which now they want it investigated because who was with him? Who was with him on this trip when he died? Because this was a solo trip. That's what they were told. And this article was posted in a PassportBro Facebook group. So like the PassportBros are big.
And so basically, she got this information straight off of Facebook. I rest my goddamn case. I rest my case. So she's that dumb enough to get something off of Facebook or any part of social media, jump in front of her camera and try to make it seem like, oh, this is actual news. This is actual news. I got straight from a news source, straight from a news article. Nah, I just got it off of Facebook. Wow. Just wow.
Warned about what's going on overseas. I really don't know why his family took it to CNN or took it to the news, because at the end of the day, it's happened in another country. There's nothing.
The real question is why you didn't get it off of CNN or any of these other news outlets, ma'am. And the irony of it all is you saying that shit, but yet you got this off of Facebook. Isn't that what you claim? Isn't that what you claim, ma'am? So it's quite ironic that they didn't get this off of CNN or whatever, but you didn't get it off of CNN either. You got it off of social media, believing anything social media tells you because you saw it on social media. How fucking dumb are you, ma'am? Let's continue.
Nothing that the U.S. can do. You got the cause of death. You're never going to get answers, unfortunately. I'm sorry that, your loved one passed away. God rest his soul if he was a good person. But
That's crazy. She's sitting here talking about, I really don't know why they took it to, but I bet you when Brittany Griner and what's the other, the chick who got stuck over there in Dubai for being too loud, right? All these chicks were protesting. Bring them back. Like, no, it's not fair.
Or what about those two black chicks? One got murdered in Mexico along with one of her male friends down there. Or what about the chick who also got murdered in Mexico? Or what about the other black chick who also got murdered in Mexico? What about the black chicks who got murdered out in Africa? Or the black chick who got murdered in Asia? Oh, wait, I forgot. This is only supposed to be a PassportBro problem. Oh my God, the hypocrisy is at an all-time high.
Right. It made sense then, but of course, they don't drink coffee.
if it is what it sounds like, again, why are men thinking that women cannot be a threat to them? Like, why do men think that women are not capable of doing?
What is you talking about, ma'am? Please point us out all these men who think women are not a threat. And I will show you a whole lot of men that says otherwise. Does she even hear her own self talk? 9 times out of 10 she does. She does, and she thinks she sounds smart.
Committing crimes against them. Like, you will invite a random woman that you don't know from nowhere. You don't know from a campaign, you don't know from Paul. Why are you freaking inviting a woman you don't know in another country who speaks another language? You're in her territory. That's desperation. You are so desperate.
You don't even know the dude, but yet you assume that he's desperate. If you don't have several seats, and shut the fuck up forever, miss, I can't tell the difference between Brazil and Colombia right now. Let's continue.
For some coochie that you disregard your freaking safety. Like, what is not clicking? And I don't know, I was about to stop the video.
No, what's not clicking is you on TikTok giving your version of what happened to Dwayne Moore's. No, ma'am. Not what actually happened, what you believed happened. And you're so bad at it. So fucking horrible at it. To the point to where I want to laugh, but it's just not in me to laugh right now at your own stupidity. Trying to give out your version of what happened. Trying to give out your narrative to what went down. But let's continue.
I just feel like women, we have like these thoughts in our head. When we go out of town, we are very vigilant. When me and my best friend were in Grenada, even though I love Grenada, it was a very safe country.
Oh, now that's laughable right there. If you women were so vigilant, then y'all would avoid each and every problem that came your way. How come when I turn on the news, we don't see y'all being vigilant? No, we don't. If y'all was vigilant, then y'all wouldn't be going through much of the trouble that y'all going through right now, ma'am. Stop playing yourself. Let's continue.
As soon as we got in the car, we prayed that God would protect us wherever we were going.
This is a woman who believes in God.
To get there safely and to get there safely.
Indeed. She's sitting there happy that a man got murdered in Brazil, but Colombia, according to her. While at the same time, she's trying to bring God into this. I bet God is up there sitting at his rightful place, looking at her as if she is so dumb. Let's continue.
To the resort safely every freaking time. Men, they just don't have that.
Wow. Because I care, of course, I will echo the sentiments.
No, Jesus Ed, you don't have to echo the sentiments. Instead, let's just get on with the update to the news article. I mean, to be honest, these men who got their passports, they are aware of the situation. They now understand going to these certain countries such as Brazil, Colombia, or any part of Central and South America is a risk, or any place of the matter is a risk. But there's one thing I need to point out right here. The difference between Dwayne Moore's, who got drugged and murdered in Brazil, versus the Passport Bros getting murdered in Colombia is the fact that nowhere in either the news article nor the update did they say anything about Dwayne Moore's having any contact with these women through a dating app. Remember, the Passport Bros who were killed in Colombia, they got with these women through dating apps. But there's no There's nothing in the news article that said that Dwayne Moores met these women through a dating app. And as I stated before, but then again, I'm gonna wait till after the update to talk about this, because this is a general. Because what I'm about to say is a general statement. But let's continue.
Know the women before you closely associate with them, right?
Right.
So as the investigation unfolded, evidence emerged that pointed to foul play.
We're getting some new details this morning about the murder of a Minnesota man in Brazil. Brazilian authorities arrested a 23-year-old woman for what they describe as a scam that targets tourists. Police say she has a criminal record for committing similar crimes.
A scam that targets tourists.
43-year-old Dwayne Morris of Edina was found dead inside the property he was staying at Copacabana nearly 2 weeks ago. His life partner said she suspected foul play.
This is certainly a situation where Dwayne was targeted, that these people were experienced, and they drugged Dwayne, they robbed him, they left him for dead.
Brazilian authorities are still searching for a second suspect.
Listen, as always, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think?
Right now, as I said, a scam that targets tourists. That means PassportBro or not, man or woman, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a factor. If you're a tourist, you're a target. And yes, I'm about to make a general statement here. By the end of the day, you could talk to anyone who've been to Central, South America, or any part of the world. They will tell you, be careful going to these clubs, these bars, in these foreign countries. They will, in some places, they will drug you and rob you. And if you think that it only happens to the passport bros, you bitter broads, think again. You don't even have to be a passport bro for that to happen. You could be any foreigner in that country, and that shit will happen to them. They don't care if you're a passport bro or not a passport bro. They don't care that you're going there for pleasure or for business. And as I say before, I know this is gonna hurt. They don't give a fuck if you are a man or a woman. If you are a tourist in that country, you are a target. And yes, as Uncle JD said, ask anyone who traveled to these foreign countries. They will all tell you the same thing. And when it comes to Central and South America, if you're a tourist, especially one from the U.S., black, white, any other race, man or woman, they will look at you as rich. And guess what? They will drug you. They will. Yes, ladies, y'all not safe from it either. And yes, there are many stories of women going to Central and South America who got drugged and scammed. So no, sitting there trying to paint it as if this is a passport bro problem, you are playing yourself, because it will happen to anybody, regardless to whether or not they are a passport bro, regardless to whether or not they are a man or a woman. And keep this in mind, Dwayne Morris has a family. He didn't went to Brazil as a single man. He went to Brazil on a business trip as a married man. So all this passport bro bullshit, it's time for y'all to dead that shit right there. Especially to y'all retarded fucks who's trying to give out y'all versions of the story, but it's clear to see that y'all don't know shit. And that's word is bone. But nevertheless, if y'all want to watch the Coffee Pod full video in its entirety, I'll leave the link into the description box. Go check it out. Tell them JD Mouse sent you. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. I'm done schooling these bitter passport-hating broads on this matter, and I'm out this bitch. Later.